Steve's example and the advice I'm passing on to you from watching him taught me three things. One, intentionally think of others first. You see, Steve didn't come to the table and then all of a sudden say, oh, I wish I had a book for John. I wish I had an audio tape for him. No. Before he ever came, he asked himself intentionally, what can I give? What can I do to add value to John Maxwell? The second thing I learned from Steve Babby is make every meeting more than a meeting. You see, we always had a meeting and we discussed things that we needed to discuss. Of course we did. But the icing on the cake, the cherry on the top, was the fact that Steve Babby always brought something to the table. The third thing that I learned from Steve Babby is that you make yourself more valuable when you consistently add value to people. You see, I always look forward to my meetings with Steve. Why? Because I like meetings? No. Have a lot of meetings. What set Steve apart from everybody else? He brought something to the table, which began to help me ask the question, what do I bring to the table when I meet with someone? I try to, every time I meet with someone, have questions that might be interesting that I can ask, or maybe an idea that I've just picked up that I want to pass on, or bring a resource. And all of that adding value by bringing something to the table had its root from the example of Steve Babby. It goes back very simple. In life, are we a plus in our relationships, or are we a minus? You see, Steve, he was a plus. He always brought something to the table when we had our meeting. I hope that little bit of advice will kind of stay with you this month. Maybe the next meeting you have, you'll kind of think before, what could I bring to the table that just sets me apart from everybody else? I mean, there were meetings, and then there were Steve Babby meetings. Always bring something to the table. Advice number 2. People need recognition, so freely give it to them. We are born to be appreciated. We're born to be recognized. And if you don't really think so, the next time you're like in a restaurant and you see maybe a couple over there and they have just a very young child, maybe 1 year old, just a baby. If you're a booth over and you'll just kind of wave to that baby or play a little bit of hide and seek or just kind of recognize them, that baby is yours for the whole meal. You know that mom will try to turn around to kind of eat their food, but that baby's back there. Now, why? Because we are born to have people recognize us. We want recognition. We want somebody to look at us and say we're special.